Previously on Ryan's routes.
It's a lot of planning coming together.
I've been looking at a map of this place for years. Ooh, that was lightning. It is rain cats and dogs. We're at the start of Maple Mountain. Definitely better than Ishpatina Ridge. A lot sketchier though. We finally made it. Feels good. There's an incredible amount of moose poop at the top of Maple Mountain. Was not expecting that. First of all, come through that last section, I don't even know how a moose would get up that. Second of all, why does a moose want to come up here? I don't know. They must appreciate nice views too. Maple Mountain is known as Chi Bei Jing by the indigenous people of the area. This loosely translates to ghost, spirit, or corpse mountain. Needless to say, this is a sacred area for them. So please be respectful. That was a hike. Freaking beautiful. This ladder that you see behind me was kind of the end of the trail for Nona Puppy, apparently. She did actually make it to the top, but I was pretty scared for her to go any further because it gets real sketchy beyond this point. Just working our way back down now. Probably going to be a lot easier than the way up.
Should probably have somebody slow me down.
So we've conquered the mountain. And the spirit still seems angry. Still a bit windy. Although the day's a lot nicer. Happy to see the sun again. Bye, Maple Mountain. It's been a slice. Well, looks like everybody's at the site waiting for us. Wonder what time they got here. More importantly, I wonder how the last 2 days have been for them. How was your first day?
It just rained the whole day. What do you guys think?
Rained the whole day.
Ryan's like,
Last
it
night
can't possibly rain the whole day, and then it...
It rained the whole
But
day.
we got the so the portage out. A motorboat put all their gear in their motorboat, and a truck comes and picks them up.
Yeah.
And takes them to the top. All our gear got carried across.
Yeah.
I just had to carry the canoe.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Luke, will this work? You gotta get a J-stroke in there.
Road again. We're on our last stretch paddling. Old John Paul, he's gonna leave us in a couple of bends. Basically at the campsite we camped the other night. And we're also leaving everyone else, but hoping to meet up again with them tonight. We're gonna do a different section. We're gonna do part of the Lady Evelyn River today, which is probably gonna mean our most challenging day of the trip. Probably also the most scenic because I think there's 6 or 7 waterfalls along this stretch, so it's gonna be beautiful. But hopefully we make it through that and meet up with our friends again at the end of the day. Ooh, this might be the nicest day we've had to paddle yet. This narrow section between Hobart and Blue Sucker has been super interesting. Cool little area to paddle for sure. Fly, little bird, fly!
When you guys are out, we'll figure out what to do.
Yeah, for sure, man. Have fun getting out. Yeah, John Paul's off on his own solo adventure. Hopefully Lady Evelyn is kind to him. We are now entering Betty's Hole. We've been making bad jokes about this spot for a couple days now, knowing that we're gonna pass through it. We're the only ones from our group that are gonna go through Betty's Hole on our way to the Lady Evelyn River. So we got our hole all to ourselves. Today is really what I would consider the turning point in our trip. So far on the trip, we've pretty much steadily been heading north. Today we've turned around and started heading south. Basically at this point we still have 6 days, so trip's only half over. This section is starting to get narrow. Probably the tightest spot in Betty's Hole so far. I'm hoping it doesn't get any more narrow than this, because I'd like to keep dry feet for just a little bit longer. Go at the front. Oof. That's one way to do it. One second, Donut. Wait. And this is why you don't release party balloons. Because they end up in places like this. Great. I've probably found several party balloons along my travels. I'm going to say at least 5 or 6 in the middle of nowhere. Very unfortunate, but that's kind of a tradition. This is Chris Willis Lake, if I'm not mistaken. Just saw a beaver for a splash. It's just a little guy though. A bit of confusion trying to find the portage. The route, the line for the route on the map goes right through these islands. And then I rolled around the corner and saw the islands. Had a closer look at the map, and I'm like, oh, okay, I know what's going on. I see the trail now. Holy, a steel boat? Ooh. We're at the portage that gets us onto the Lady Evelyn River, so it's probably where the fun begins for the day.
Well, I fell and I'm stuck because I'm on a rock and the barrel is so heavy and I can't get up. So currently this is great.
Okay. Very good. Oh, well that was more like the portages we're used to in Temagami. It was super slippery and sketchy in sections. Both of us fell. But got us here at the top of Frank Falls, so we just got like a 30-meter little paddle over, and we're gonna park the boats and check out Frank Falls. Probably would have been an easier portage for us, because I think it's only 160 or something. We wanted to go a way that we haven't seen most of it already. First falls down. Wonder if they're gonna get better than this one. A little more steep than I thought, no owners. Wait. Woo! About to take a spill. Oh, good girl. Good girl. Good exactly what I wanted, Nona. Perfect. Oh, you should get bit on the nose again. You just will not leave your nose alone, eh? Nona's got a huge lump on her nose from the constant deer fly, mosquito, probably a little bit of black fly bites. Just love her nose for some reason.
This is me at the start of the golden staircase. Sorry guys, hard to film.
Welcome to Center Falls, location of the Golden Staircase, a famously bad portage. Probably famous for this section right behind me. It's a cool rock. This is where we might get wet feet. Can already see it. Coming into a little rapids. We're gonna try and paddle up as far as we can, and then probably gonna have to line the boats for the rest of it. That looks like a ledge, possibly. Usually going the opposite way in rapids. I think we're gonna have to line it from here.
I forgot to film going up the worst section. I would say it's worse than the Golden Staircase, which we just did. Mostly because I had tunnel vision to meet Ryan at this campsite so we could go and look at the falls. There's no trail markers. There are some cairns that people have left, but there's just so many trails it's really easy to get lost, and it's a really steep incline and it's very long. So I was just speculating earlier that it might not feel so bad if we hadn't just climbed Maple Mountain yesterday afternoon, but it's still difficult and it is buggy. So lots to look forward to, but the falls was pretty cool.
Oh, that was one of the most brutal portages I've ever done. Golden Staircase, ain't no thing, no big deal. It's only bad in that one section. It's not that bad overall. That was terrible, beginning to end. Plus it's a campsite on the top of the hill, so there's all these offshoot trails and it's not marked very well, so it's very confusing. If you're coming up through here, just mentally prepare yourself for that portage. She bad. It seemed like a push to get us to Bridal Veil today. Portages have been laying the beat down on us. It's still possible. I mean, heading upstream is always way worse. And coming up on a couple little rapids that I'm hoping are runnable or a lot easier to line up, and then a couple rapids that are hopefully a lot easier to run. I'm getting tired. Nope, not lineable at all. Well, I'm sure you could drag it up them, but it's not worth it. Just do the portage. Very pretty area though, I'll say that. We're at the turning point in the Lady Evelyn River. And it's been rough so far. Kind of hoping these last couple rapids take it easy on us and we can run them. But yeah, I'm getting my hopes up. I think it's pretty doubtful. Before I do this, I'm going to say I typically don't condone running whitewater without a helmet. But it looks fairly straightforward, and I'm tired of portaging for the day. But yeah, don't do as I do, kids. Do as I say. I'm pretty sure I could walk this if I had to. And I'm just gonna take her nice and slow. So clean until now. Multiple hits at the bottom. Shaded and you can't see the rocks. I'm sorry, we pushed harder than we should have today. He's gonna have a good sleep tonight. Cabin Falls is home to Hap Wilson's Eco Lodge. If you're not familiar with Hap Wilson, he's published numerous Canadian canoe route guides and books about wilderness life. The lodge is located on the opposite side of the river, but it's clearly visible from the start of the portage. That's my girl, known a puppy, that's my girl. That's my girl. In my opinion, Bridal Veil is the most impressive falls along this section, and is definitely worth spending a night at. Oh, pretty shallow. This There's an angry old river. You can tell by the path of chaos and destruction that's left in its wake. Stuff that you have to climb over. Rock boulders, logs. She's not happy. Good morning. Well, we're in for another day of fun on the Lady Evelyn River. Yesterday was a bit of a torture test, but man, the best scenery I'm pretty sure I've ever encountered. Rivers are always a bit of a torture fest in my opinion, and those of you that have been following the channel for a while know I did a lot of rivers back in the day, so I've seen a lot of stuff. It's going to be probably a little bit even more of a rough day. Not because of the portages, but because Nona hurt her paw yesterday. We realized, your paw, little Nona. Where's your paw? Poor girl. So she's limping around on a little bit, and of course we got a bunch of portages coming up in the next day and a half or so. We're going to try and take care of that for her as soon as we get through all these portages. Hopefully push down close to Obabika tonight and get there fairly easily tomorrow. And then she should be home free.
I'm not gonna film going down because it's super sketchy and I need hands. So there is a view of the steep, rocky terrain going down. And yeah, this is the worst kind of portage for me because it's kites over water and it just freaks me out. So I don't do a lot of filming on these portages. But yeah, you want to be super careful. Well, the balance beam section, so I'm just taking off the barrel and babying it across. So I'm just doing it at my own pace, a way that I'm comfortable with, and I'm still getting it done. So there's no shame in at least doing it, and this is the way I have to do it. So it's reality. Here comes Ryan.
That's sketchy.
Heard it here. It's sketchy.
As an old canoeist once said to me, these ain't no namby-pamby portages. This is probably going to be the longest portage of the day. Maybe even the trip.
So our longest portage so far is the easiest portage. It's normal. Just the beginning was a bit of a boulder garden, but the rest is just pretty casual, regular portage. The river gods are favoring us. Had a bit of a scare getting my canoe. One of the bolts for the yoke was not attached, and Ryan went to attach it, so I just backtracked a little, and luckily it was right beside the boulder garden. It hadn't fallen anywhere, so disaster avoided.
Definitely a little bony on that one. I just wanted to thank the river gods for that 670 we just did. Although it was long, it was possibly the easiest portage of this whole section. Nice and flat for most of it. A little slight downhill. Thank you. see why my friends didn't come up that last night and try and meet us. It was a bit rough. I feel like some of the ones near the top were worse. Again, don't condone this, but it saves us a portage, and it looks super easy. Little swifts. Starting to make better time on the river now that we're all through the hard section, I think. I don't think there's any portages left. It shows a couple little swifts on the map, so pretty easy sailing from here. Pretty sure this spells the end of the Lady Evelyn River for us. Nice view to finish it out. We just stopped for a quick lunch break on the portage called 2 Miler. It's also a campsite. This portage is long. My map shows it at a 2,225 meter portage. So it's probably going to break our record for the biggest portage. We had the other option to take 3 smaller portages and a bunch of paddling out of our way to get down to Diamond. But we're going to opt for the big portage. In my experience, it's generally faster to do this versus the in and out of the boat multiple times over ponds, especially when you got to paddle out of your way on numerous kilometers just to get to that section. I figure it's probably in total going to save us like 15 kilometers of paddling out of our way. So unfortunately, the long portage is the better option this time.
First little bit of the portage was pretty nice, and now we are in a swamp. Our favorite. We decided, rather than putting our stuff down, going back, getting a second load halfway, that we would just take a quick break at the top of a big hill and continue on. Either way, we have to do it twice. I hate the swamp. I hate it. I hate it more than anything. I hate the swamp.
Oh God, this bog made a really interesting end to the portage. Could have done without this part. In fact, without this part, it really wasn't that bad of a portage. There was a bit of a marshy section in the middle, but other than that, it was pretty easy going. Didn't mind it at all. And now we're back on Diamond, where we were like 4 days ago or something. Making good time getting back. Whew. I didn't record any really of the crossing on Diamond because it sucked. That was some of the worst wind we've had so far, but Once I got so far into the paddle, I spotted this site, and it was worth that. We got a beach site. First one of a trip. Oh, like a night or two at a beach site. Oh, kind of makes it like a Caribbean vacation. Oh, without all the other tourists. Oh, oh, it's so much fun. I am wrecked. Going for a swim. So we have some paddlers on the horizon. We're assuming it's our friends. I wonder if they regret the 3 portages versus the one long one, because we've been here for like 3 hours. You made it!
Oh, I think that's our family.
Yeah.
Just such
Same thing happened to us, but we had soaking wet feet anyways. No, wait.
You can't right now.
It's okay, I think we all need to go for a swim from what we went through today.
I feel surprisingly good considering what we went through today.
I don't wanna wait for my feet to be wet.
Oh my god, it's a little bit more reach than I thought. Come on, baby. Oh, screw it. We're just gonna work our way over to the extensive logging camp ruins that are pointed out on the map and check that out since it was right next to our site before we start making any headway today. Always worth it to stop and see the sights when possible. What's that, Nona? What's that?
Hey, can I put you down?
I'm often disappointed with so-called ruins located on the map, but this one did not disappoint and I highly recommend checking it out. There is tons to see and you could probably spend an hour just looking at all the old wreckage from the logging camp, the logging alligators, sleds, and the remains of buildings. That was kind of interesting. Watch for broken glass and nails in your feet. There was lots of potential for that when we were walking around. I was a little scared one of us was going to catch a nail in the foot. Well, something positive of today is it's raining, but there's no wind. It was one of the calmest days we've had yet. It was glorious. Loving Diamond Lake. It's a pretty nice lake to explore, and really it's not that hard to access. I can see why it's part of the Obabika Loop. Worth checking out. Oh yeah, there's a marker over there. Almost missed the portage.
There's one right there too.
Yeah, there's 2. I think we want the one on the right. Got the 305. That one's like a 105.
Continue the other way.
Yeah.
you want it to be.
Yep. Okay, Nona. Everything in the barrel. Too rainy.
Then one more portage?
One more portage. Maybe meet me over here. Come on. Yep, right here. Girl. Well, that portage was fun in the rain. It's more like rock climbing than portaging, just looking for little footholds because the rock was so smooth everywhere that you're just worried about sliding down and ending up with a canoe on your shoulders. Temagami never ceases to amaze or throw challenges your way.
So the Portage comes out to a road, and then we set our stuff down from our first trip here because we just weren't sure exactly how far we should follow the road. And apparently it should be marked up here. Well, we've got a barn and a flag to the left of the road, just like the map says.
I'm really hoping that this wind we're feeling is just a funnel effect on Pencil Lake, because if we come out onto Wakamika and it's this bad, it's going to be a nightmare to cross Wakamika. Seeing lots of sandbars though. At the very least, if we get windbound or something, can we be windbound on another nice beach site? Well, we did end up getting windbound on a site. Probably been here like 3 hours now. The wind is calming down a little bit, so I'm hoping we can still make our way up to Obabika tonight. Or down to Obabika, I guess. We'll see. At least we haven't got rain in a while. Wait. Okay. Okay. Come on, Nona. Come on. Good girl. Jump, 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 jump. Let's go. Good girl. Can you lay down, Nona? Paddling in the wind. Paddling in the wind. Oh God. You gotta love Big Lake on a windy day. There are petroglyphs located on the island along the east side of Wakamika if you want to take the time to check those out. Welcome to the Wakamika River. It's more like a creek, but it's got a good current. I hardly have to paddle. Ooh, nice relaxing break after a big lake crossing in the wind. So pretty. In some ways, this reminds me of the top of the Black River, except this is somewhat maintained. As I say that, rolled around the corner and there's a liftover. That was my experience on the Black, is lots and lots of leftovers. Man, when we first got in here, I saw a bass like that big. I wasn't expecting a fish that big in here. It looks like we made it to Obabika, one of the big boxes on this trip that I wanted to check. I wanted to come to this lake for a long time. Let's see what it's all about. tree. Well, back on the water for another day. It's definitely sunny today. Freaking hot. And we're heading for another hike. Going to the fire tower hike on Obabika. We're gonna try and get down to the sandbar and just take a sight down there by the Obabika Portage. And just enjoy the nice day, because we haven't had many of them on this trip. Be sure to check out the grandmother and grandfather rocks along the east side of Obabika Lake, another important indigenous site. The start of the Fire Tower Trail is located on Ranger Point, which is also an epic campsite. Starting the hike to the old fire tower. That's probably not there anymore, according to my map, but the site was occupied, so we had to ask nicely for permission to pass. They were super nice and seemed interested in our maps. Surprised somebody would come out here without a map. The trail feels longer than I thought, but well, we found something. Hopefully this isn't it. Base of the old tower looks like. And a little cabin. I was hoping for a good view, but it's kind of cool just the same.
Get 48
Yeah,
over here.
I see 48 here too.
Oh.
I thought that's what you're looking at. This place has been signed to death, holy. Well, not the view we were hoping for, but super cool to see all the signatures, especially Shania Twain's grandparents. We gotta get back down to the water and try and make some headway today. You can hear the wind picking up, I think, a little bit from up here. We're hot on the tail of a camp group from the look of it. You can see 4 of the canoes, maybe like a kilometer ahead of us or so. Hopefully we're not all chasing the same sights. Come on, Nolan. Come on. Modern something.
Modern cleaners?
What are the cleaners doing back here? Can't believe how good the paint is on this thing. Well, that was one of the most relaxed days we've had on this entire trip. Nice recovery day before we make our last push for the exit. Oh God, it's been one hell of a trip so far. Can't believe it's almost over. It's getting to that point in the trip where it's just sad. How are we gonna ever leave all this behind? I don't want to go home. Good morning. We are all packed up and ready to go. Heading for, I think, the Obabika Portage. There's a couple options to get out of this lake, but thinking that's the one we're going with to get us back over to Lake Temagami and probably our final portage for the trip. Can't believe we've gone all the way from Lake Temagami Central up to Maple Mountain and back down. Seems crazy. Last look at Maple Mountain for a while. Can't believe we can still see it from back here.
Well, it's the last portage of the trip, and it's the nicest portage we've had. It's just this really nice, big open trail. Kind of looks like an old road, and it's super casual. Even though it's an 870, it doesn't feel like it at all. And Nona's having a great time. Ready, Nona? Go, 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 go!
Fancy meeting you here.
Up until this trip, I had only encountered dead lunar moths, but saw one alive for a very brief period of time over by the fire a couple nights ago. It kind of flew up to us, and while we were trying to get a shot of it, it threw itself into the flames. So for a brief moment, got to see the beauty of a live lunar moth. Otherwise, every other one I've seen has been, you know, dead in the water, dead on the trail, or disintegrated into the fire.
Yeah, it may just not live. Yep, I'll pick you up right there. That's perfect, Nona. Okay, Nona. Girl. Well, that was a nice, easy portage to finish off the trip. Kind of reminded me of the portages coming down from Lady Evelyn smooth water to Ishpatina Ridge and Scarecrow Lake. Just long, flat, open, look like old roads or old four-wheeler trails or something like that. Yeah, it's nice to have a fairly easy last couple days so we don't go home completely wrecked. The plan is to try and hit up the chip truck on Bear Island because it's Luke's birthday. So never experienced that kind of thing on a canoe trip. Getting to go to a chip truck kind of midway, but should be a new experience. Hopefully it's still there because my map's like 10 years old. I'm pretty sure we just passed the same camp group that we passed yesterday. Again, my buddy Luke used to guide for camp groups, and he was telling us the usual routes when they do the Obabika Lake, and that they're probably going to be looking for the same campsites as us tonight. So, remember to get through this. Find ourselves a campsite. Oh, my back. My back.
I still dream of that what it is. Can you paint with all the colors of a mountain? Can you paddle directly into the wind? Yeah. Every day?
Might possibly be the biggest, most open water we've had on the entire trip. Looks like a pretty epic expanse from right here. Bobber boats. Maybe Andrew sank. I'm officially seeing some memories from the first day that we started on this trip. There's kind of a rock slide hill over there, and I remember going around that the first day when we were paddling into Witch's Point. What a cool old place. Looks like she needs some love though. Well, I think we were all a little disappointed to learn that the chip truck hasn't been here in 20 years. Apparently my map is that outdated. Good morning. It's last morning of the trip, and we only got 3.5K or so to get out of here. Hard to believe it's our last morning already. Went by in a flash, as it always does. This was one hell of a trip. It laid the beat down on us some days, but we made it. Hard to believe we've been from the south end of the map to the north end of the map and back down again. Pretty much where we started now. It's crazy. Feel like my arms are not wanting to go today. I had a fairly big paddle yesterday, and fairly big paddle a lot of the previous days. Can't get over the beauty out here though. It's hard to beat the Temagami nature, scenery. That's what keeps me coming back. Hopefully I'll be coming back here for a long, long time. Well, I see it put in. Now's the point in time when we get to find out if the jump ball made it out alive or not. How we did hiding loose keys. Oh, what's that?
Oh.
A set of keys.
You gonna hold it or me?
Well, that's another adventure in the books. It was a good one. Now get out there for some adventures of your own. They're waiting for you.